What the heck are you?
Morley, hard at work on your latest novel?
Actually, I'm writing up last week's report. You may recall you were supposed to do it.
Well, why should I do something when you can do it so much better than I?
If that's your idea of justifying giving me all of the paperwork, I am not impressed.
Well, it seems I'm wasting my time trying to impress you, Morley. We're off again.
And where are we off to this time?
Fort Cairo, West Virginia. Some sort of vessel went down in a forest there yesterday. No one's been able to find it.
Last time I checked, it wasn't in our job description to hunt for missing planes, Sattler.
It isn't. But I thought you might be interested to know that no planes or light aircraft were reported missing within a 1,000-mile radius of the state. And there's this.
And how is this relevant to our missing plane, exactly?
Well, the owner of the hand, Fred Fingal, was found dead in said forest. His body was reportedly as stiff as a concrete sheet, and no known toxins were found in his blood.
I'm going to connect the dots and assume I'll be starting with an autopsy.
Morley, what would I do without you?
I sent 3 good deputies into this forest, and not one of them came back out. I'm sure happy someone took this seriously enough to send in the FBI.
The murdered man, Fingal. He often came out here to the forest?
Yeah, hunting trips mostly. Didn't really catch nothing.
Nice hat.
Thanks, ma'am. Standard issue for West Virginia Forestry Police.
We should go find Sattler.
Let's go. What's out there? Deer? Bears?
Not much, really. The odd rabbit.
Suffering succotash, eh?
What?
Yosemite Sam? Never mind.
So this would be your partner then?
That's right. Morley, how'd the slicing and dicing go?
There was no slicing and dicing, Sattler, only the hardest set rigor mortis I've ever seen. I broke 5 blades trying to cut in.
Well, I guess Mr. Fingal was hard done by. This is the local sheriff, Kelvin Smiley.
Ma'am?
You must be the deputy.
That's right. Trevor Fish.
I've arranged to have the body sent to D.C. where I can use lasers.
It's good work, Morley. She likes to be thorough. Well, while we're here, shall we venture into the woods?
Where 3 officers disappeared? Sattler, don't you think there's something better we can do with our time?
Where's your adventurous spirit, Morley? We'll be fine. There are 4 of us. We're all armed.
Hey, I'm up for it.
Smiley?
I sure would like to know if my men are all right in there.
Morley.
Exactly how deep are we going before we turn back?
The track's only half a mile away, Morley. We can afford to go a fair bit deeper.
I don't see the missing officers. They probably took some of that Virginian whiskey with them and passed out.
Now look here, ma'am, we might not be professionals from the FBI, but out here, we is just as professional as any folks from DC. My boys know what they were doing. If they were planning on staying out here, they would have radioed it in. I tell you, something has happened to them.
And let's not forget what happened to Fingal also, Morley.
What? You mean like the same thing happened to Jack, Carl, and Chad? That thing on the hand and all?
I wouldn't know.
Way to keep things calm, Sattler.
We should keep moving.
Sorry about that.
He's going a long way.
Yeah, he gets embarrassed.
Hey! Who's there? You guys playing a trick on us or something? Chad! Is that you?
A shot!
Fish! Come on! Oh God! Fish!
Just like Fingal. Sattler, somebody's out here.
Where? I didn't see anyone.
Then what? Not a rabbit. Maybe a disease?
I don't think we're dealing with killer bunnies here, Smiley.
Then what?
I have a theory.
Well, Smiley, I hope you have an open mind.
Something's out here, but we can't see it.
Why, I sure as heck know that.
And we can't see it because it's invisible.
Invisible. What the hell? Ma'am, is he serious?
Sattler, serious? That's a matter of opinion.
Think about it, Morley. How could some creature or a maniac get close enough to leave a mark like that?
Well, either way, this mission is over. We need to get ourselves and Fish back to town before we end up like him. I hate to say this, guys, but I think we're lost.
Okay, let's put him over here.
Oh, Bessie. Laying down here. See if I can find out where we are. This don't rightly make sense. Not getting anything on GPS.
Some sort of magnetic interference?
Make that invisible magnetic interference?
Magnetic interference is usually invisible, Morley.
I'm sure we can find the way that we came in.
Can you? I can. Whatever's interfering with the GPS is also disorientating us.
Don't be ridiculous, Sattler. You can't honestly be suggesting that some force is interfering with both the GPS and our sense of direction. I mean, you've said some pretty ludicrous things before, but...
Shh! What tarnation?
Looks like a clothes dryer. I suppose you have a reasonable explanation for this, too?
Sorry to disappoint you, Morley, but for once I'm just as speechless as you.
Looks like my prayers have been answered.
Glad I put on that back panel. Hello there.
Who in God's name are you?
Oh, I'm the professor. Hello. Have you seen any strange things going on around here? Well, you wouldn't have seen much. They're invisible, you see. But you might have seen their effects. Like that. The mark of the Invisi-robots. The mark of the Invisi-robots on...
What?
Seems I've arrived a fraction later than I expected to. They're called Invisi-robots. Naturally, from the name, you can't see them. That mark there is the mark they use to kill their victims. I've been following them quite a long way to find them.
In your clothes dryer.
Yes, of course, my clothes dryer. This ship was fleeing a particularly nasty battle, of which, of course, I was an important part. But I can't let them loose here on Earth for obvious reasons. You need very sophisticated technology to engage in a battle with people you can't see.
And is there a way to stop these Invisi-robots?
Sadler, you can't honestly be listening to this guy. I mean, invisible robots? It's beyond ludicrous.
Well, it fits, doesn't it? I mean, a guy appears out of thin air in a clothes dryer. There isn't much left not to believe.
I'm sure there's a logical scientific explanation for that too.
Such as?
Perhaps it's a trick of the light, or this entire forest could have been sprayed with some kind of hallucinogen.
Apparently I'm ludicrous with that.
I think we need to get out of here as soon as possible, Sadler. Look, if we get this guy back to town, perhaps we'll get some plausible answers that don't involve invisible robots or appearing clothes dryers.
And you think a guy that's telling these tales will just crack under the interrogation light? Besides, we've had enough encounters with things that, at the time, seemed just as implausible. These Invisi-robots, is there a way to stop them?
If there wasn't, I would hardly have come all this way for them, would I? But I do need access to their control unit.
What does it look like?
It's invisible.
Of course. I'm surprised you didn't think of that, Sadler.
Once I get access to their control unit, I'll be able to trigger their visibility systems and also reduce their thermoprotection. These robots, they're based on ice technology from a scientist called Carmichael in the 26th century. It's all very clever. You don't need to know about that. But if I can reduce the thermoprotection in this climate, their core module systems will simply melt, and so will they.
Now look right here, guys. I don't know what's going on here, but he is right in the middle of it. Now you look here. You fix whatever's going on around here so we can get out.
Well, I'd love to, but I can't disable the disorientation device until I have access to the control unit, wherever that might be.
Right, that's it. You are coming with me. You are answering my questions truthfully with none of this absurd fantasy.
Well, I think that while we're here, we should at least see whether this control device actually exists, Smiley.
He still comes with me.
He's the only one who can deactivate the device. Go if you want, but he stays here.
Sadler.
Rest assured, you'll be safe in FBI custody.
I should never have invited you people here.
I hope you know what you're doing, Sadler. Sadler, Smiley!
It'll be too late.
I don't have to listen to you.
Look, Morley.
No, I'm going to find him. Who are you? What are you? Is the professor controlling you?
I am sorry about the dead man. I tried to get here earlier, but tracking invisible ships is difficult even for me in the TARDIS.
Sadler! Sadler, come here!
Morley!
I don't think we'd be...
Come on!
Morley, what is it?
Professor, I think we found your unit.
Where? Where's that? I can't see anything.
It's invisible.
Sonic key. It's very special. Thing I do. That should do the job.
Well, I'll be.
There we go. I just need to adjust these control settings for the thermo protection, and we should be out of the woods. Or forest. It's a pun.
So we're safe.
Yes, exactly. It'd only take about half a minute for the cores to melt. Oh.
What? What is it?
Well, according to this, we've got 7 Invisi-robots surrounding us about 15 meters away. There you go. We made it. I saved it.
They're gone?
Looks like we found someone more baffling than I am, Morley.
Sattler, what just happened? Although we caught a glimpse of one of these strange creatures, it was only for a brief moment, and neither Sattler nor myself are sure we saw the same thing. After this point, the GPS started working, and we were able to find our way out. However, no scientific evidence could be gathered to explain the stiffening effect on the victims. After approximately 24 hours, the corpses crumbled and became little more than dust. The unit used to destroy the creatures, which the professor called Invisi-robots, also disappeared, and no evidence of robots or alien technology could be found anywhere in the forest. As for the stranger known only as the professor, he too disappeared, as did his clothes dryer. I suspect we may never see him again.